Happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm your Philly neighborhood PM here to give you your top 3 market points of the week. And this week, it's all going to be about the semiconductors. So with the long weekend ahead of us, let's dive right in. And at point number 3, it is Dutch company ASML. So the Netherlands have decided to put additional curbs on the company, limiting what they can do on their machines in China, largely limiting the ability to continue servicing and maintaining their machines in China. Now, this is a very big blow for China as they continue to try to develop into a world-class chip industry. And this is so important because ASML's machine, the EUV, is one of the key critical components to building leading-edge chips. They cost hundreds of millions of dollars and pretty much require ASML to continue doing ongoing maintenance for them to even work. And if ASML is no longer servicing them, a lot of these machines will become inoperable in almost under a year. So keep your eyes on that, and that really throws a kink in that supply chain for China and to develop that industry. At number 2, it's a name more people are probably recognizable with, and that is Intel. So it was announced this morning that Intel is potentially mulling options on what they can do to stem some of their losses. Their stocks have largely cratered this past year or so, and they are consulting with some investment bankers on some options to help kind of turn around the ship, so to speak. They've consulted with Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs on a plethora of options, some of which are potential M&A acquisitions, as well as potentially splitting off their production design and their manufacturing businesses. So what's unique about Intel is the fact that they design chips while also manufacturing them. A lot of companies in the industry either design or they just manufacture. They don't really do both. And that really crimps on their profits and their revenues. And right now, there's a lot of pressure on Intel and the CEO to really engineer a turnaround. So some big shakeups happening in the semiconductor giant that we've largely seen over the last 60 years. And then finally, the name that's on everybody's minds for the past 2 years or so, it's Nvidia. They just announced their quarterly earnings. They had a blowout quarter once again, but they have such high and lofty expectations by the market that their forward guidance wasn't nearly as high as what some people wanted to see. And we've since seen the stock kind of trade off over the last day or so. Now, one additional thing that probably is aiding in their decline over the last day or so is the fact that their newest AI processor, the Blackwell unit, has hit some production snags. Now, CEO Jensen Huang has come out and said that there's going to be plenty of supply of the new unit and they're going to be able to ramp this up. But right now, that's a key issue going forward. And a lot of investors are starting to question, like we've talked about in the past, whether or not the continued spending on AI is ever going to result in excess returns on their investment and so on and so forth going forward. But right now, Nvidia still does stay at the heart of the AI trend and evolution, and the company doesn't really see that ending anytime soon. Now, that does it for our key 3 points this week. What are we looking to for next week? Well, next week is going to be primarily on the labor market, specifically non-farm payrolls to end the week. And this will kind of continue to kind of guide what we're seeing from the Fed on the upcoming rate decision in September, which we've talked about in the past. It looks like they're starting to completely price in a rate cut in this upcoming meeting. So that's what we've got this past week, what we're looking to for next week. As always, if you have additional questions, please reach out to your financial advisor or dig into the written weekend review. But as always, I want you to go out and enjoy your weekend. It's a long holiday weekend. It's the kickoff of college football season, so go enjoy that. And we will see you the same time next week. Thanks again. Bye.